Hi, I'm the Plant Gals, and today you guys are in for a real treat. I am going to be doing a plant tour now that I've moved into my new house. As the name suggests, I'm the Plant Gal, so obviously I've got to have some cool plants, and I am really excited for the plants I'm going to be showing you guys in today's video, the updates that I have, and honestly, my plant collection I don't think has ever looked better. I'm at such a good number of plants right now that I'm taking awesome care of them, and I really love the way that I have them set up in my new place. I have even pulled out my really big plants, or my bigger plants, so that I can show them better. And yeah, I'm gonna be showing you literally everything. I have some really exciting propagations going on. I usually kind of don't talk about those or don't include those in my plant tours, but today I'm going to be showing you some exciting propagations, my carnivorous plants, my succulents, my aroids, literally everything inside and outside of my cabinet. This plant tour is so exciting. If you've watched my previous ones, you know that these are some of my favorite videos to film and essentially what I started filming in the first place, my plant tours. So I can't wait. Please tell me in the comments what plants that you're hoping to see, what plants you're excited to see. Follow me because I'm very close to 100 subscribers, and I actually genuinely do have something really, really cool planned for 100 subscribers, and I know that you want to see it. I know you want to see it. So please make that happen for me. That would mean the most. And yeah, let's look at my plants. So check it out. We are going to start in my IKEA Millsbow cabinet. This is the current setup, and let's just start going through the plants. So first of all, this is one of my favorite plants of all time. This is a Piper crocatum. It is extremely pink and has absolutely beautiful veining on the leaves. Sorry if the kind of color is weird. My lights are a funky kind of color and it shows up weird on camera. What makes the Piper crocatum so special is not just its color, but they actually form little crystals on the backs of their leaves. When I used to get these in, well, actually in the front too. And when I used to get these into the plant shop, people freak out and think that they have pests, but they don't. They just form these really funky crystals. The fronts of the leaves sometimes get more of the black crystals. I call it like the salt and pepper look, and the backs get those really salty looking crystals. One of the coolest plants ever. I absolutely adore this plant. The care isn't the easiest for it. It just really does not like to dry out, but man, is this plant fulfilling and amazing to grow. In my back corner, in my really big snail pot, is my philodendron burl marks that I put on a pole in a previous video. This is the newest leaf, and it's way bigger than the newest leaf before I put it on the pole. I think I'm actually getting close to maybe having some holes, so I'm hoping that that happens soon. Its little buddy next to it is another one that I put on a trellis in a past video. This is my Hoya carnosa Wilbur Graves Russia. The splashing on this plant and the color on this plant is absolutely insane and stunning. I've always loved this plant. It's doing so phenomenal. This one is kind of a little bit of a silly guy. This is my Philodendron serpens and or Philodendron squamicale red. It's beautiful. It was sold to me as a serpens, but I do think it's a Philodendron squamicale, just based on the kind of look of it, the color of it, all of that. Next to it is my kaimuki on another trellis that I did in a previous video. Oh, coming back to this guy who's gonna fall over. I love these guys because they have a fuzzy stem. There's another fuzzy stem king gonna show up in this later in this video. And then once again, another one that I trellised in the previous video. This is my Hoya anakahoe. It's doing great on the trellis, putting out some new leaves right at the base and some new growth. This one's really unique because of how velvety and fuzzy it is. I think it shows up on camera, but it's really hard to actually show. In the corner here is a plant that we got into the plant shop as Anthurium forgetii, but it's actually not. I do believe that this is Anthurium red spider, they call it. It isn't a forgetii. It does have a semi-closed sinus, and it has a little red center, so we're hoping to get some really beautiful color on it. It's actually tucked into the top of my albo's moss pole. I have a really beautiful albo. It desperately needs to be repotted, but the variegation on my albo is stunning. I am starting to get browning on the really nice white bits on the old parts of the plant. I think that has to do with it really needing to be repotted and probably needing some extra love. However, it's looking so great. I can't be more happy about it. Also a repot, my obliqua. She is looking stunning. Started putting out new growth since going on the pole, and I'm really happy that I put her on the pole. I don't know if she is super rooted into it. However, she is looking absolutely beautiful. Yes, this plant used to sell for $10,000 when I started in plants, and yes, I bought it for 20. Not the easiest monstera to grow, that's for sure. By the way, look at the roots. Yeah, she needs a repot. But yeah, my obliqua is doing fantastic since I repotted it, and I really, really enjoy this plant. Honestly, this cabinet is like my kind of piece de resistance, my best plants cabinet, but I have really cool plants all over my house. I'm so, so lucky. This is my Anthurium luxurians platinum, probably the most finicky anthurium I've ever grown. However, it's doing pretty fantastic. This is the newest leaf. You can see how massive it is. The texture on these leaves is unparalleled. Like the grooves and how deep the actual texturing is crazy. It doesn't just look like this, it feels like this, so leathery. The dark color with that extra little bit of silver just kind of drives me crazy, and obsessed with this plant. If you're a fan of me, you know my obsession with my philodendron polypoidiodes, and you may notice that this plant is smaller than usual, but it does have a little new growth coming out here, and as you can see, I cut it. So I was able to take 4 cuttings from this plant. I was extremely nervous because there's not a lot of information about this plant. It's very rare, especially here in Canada. I'm the only person I know of that owns one in Canada, but if you own one, let me know. And so propagating it was scary because growing it has been scary, and I have some updates on the propagations that will be coming up next. So this is how I have the top of my cabinet set up right now. It's a bit weird because I need to get a bracket to put my shelf back in at the top of this cabinet. But honestly, I'm not disappointed with my setup right now and how it's going. So I'm just gonna pull this apart and pull out this dome here because this has the polypoidiodes babies in it and some other really funky plants. I can't even express to you how good it feels to open up that humidity dome. But this, you may notice if you're familiar with me, this is a new addition to my collection. I started getting some more carnivorous plants, orchids, and just wanted to have a nice little thing. This is what I actually grew my seedlings in for the year. So I cleaned it out, repurposed it, and now it lives in my cabinet. Let's start with the polypoidiodes cuttings. There's new growth on this one. Look at the roots. It is so fulfilling to be able to grow this plant successfully from cutting. And I did a little bit of an experiment. I had to pull this one out. You may have accidentally seen it in my Piggly Wiggly pot, which a good friend bought me. This is one that's actually grown at pretty close to ambient humidity. It's just been growing in the cabinet. This one is actually the second most rooted one. So I found success at high humidity and lower humidity, which is really exciting. I also have them all labeled A, B, C, D, so I could kind of keep track of them. But I am having really great success. These two are a little bit slower. I haven't checked them in a while, but as you can see, no roots yet, but she's in here. They're doing okay. This one, the leaf started rotting on it, which is really common in polypoidiodes. Part of the reason that I struggle with these guys so much. Let's see if it's rooting. Not really yet, but it's still looking healthy, so I have a lot of faith that this will start to do really well. This bin isn't super exciting. It's just some pinguicula props that I have and a few wet sticks from my Syngonium chia pence, but I also have these pinguicula in there. Now, these ones from left to right, the left one gets a really nice pink color. The middle one is a really beautiful pink color as well, and then the far right one almost gets a very red color. Now goes being naughty. Not go. Don't touch the polypoidiodes. So right now you can see that they don't have a ton of color because they're not super close to the light, but they do have some moss growing in them, and growing them at this higher humidity has given me a lot more success with them. So I'm actually, even though they don't look as crazy as they usually do, they are much healthier and happier than they usually are. So I consider that to be a major win. Also, that lives next to them, this is a plant that I used to have and was one of my favorites. Unfortunately, I killed it during a chronic illness flare. This is Begonia chlorinura, and oh my gosh, look at how naughty he is. So Begonia chlorinura is really unique in that it's a very red veining and hairy begonia. It's kind of everything I love. One of my friends actually had it and successfully was, I think, growing it from seed. So I was able to get one for, I mean, they just gave it to me, and I'm so thankful to have this in my collection again because it's genuinely one of my favorite plants ever. It's absolutely the most alien crazy looking thing, and it does absolutely great under the humidity dome. Now, speaking of my carnivorous plants, I have 3 here that are doing fantastic. This is a little Drosera, absolutely the cutest little guy. It keeps putting out these little flowers or seed pods or something. I'm not 100% sure, and it grows little moss in it, which I think is the cutest. She has been doing fantastic since I got her. It gets very, very beautiful little pink flowers. Oh, and I also meant to say this is Drosera capillaris, one of the little spoon-shaped ones. This is Drosera aliciae. It is almost more pinguicula shaped and red. It definitely needs more light to kind of give her on the red more. This one is always putting out little flowers too, also doing fantastic. I really like how big this ping is, or not ping, Drosera is, and yeah, it's like, this one is so much smaller than this one. Like side by side, look at them. They're so cute. I absolutely am loving my carnivorous plants. They're so much easier to take care of in here. I just actually have to feed them instead of just letting them catch whatever roams around in my house. And then this is a really weirdo one. This is Stelidium debile, and kind of a weirdo, also carnivorous. I think it's doing well. I think this is how it grows. I don't really know. I'm not super familiar with her, but I really like it. It's very, very unique, and you know I love my weird plants. Now this mini palm tree is my Biophytum sensitivum. What a little weirdo. It literally looks like a mini palm tree. I'm hoping that it'll spore and I'll get more. It should just like start coming out of other plants in my little bin, because that's kind of what they do. Now, I don't know if I'll get to show it, but if you touch this plant, it does close. You can see this one's closing. It's not as dramatic as the other sensitive plants. However, it does do it, and it does move quite a lot. Now, the only 2 orchids I grow are Paphiapetalum varieties. This is Paphiapetalum delanti, which is actually a species. They are famous for their extremely unique leaf patterns and their very, very fuzzy roots, and they get extremely weird flowers. I'll insert a picture of the delanti flower. Neither of mine have flowered yet, but as a foliage plant person, I don't mind too much. I'm just really excited that A, I'm able to keep an orchid alive, and B, I just love the foliage on these plants. The patterns are so unique and stunning. I don't think that it really gets any more beautiful than these. So yeah, this is my delanti, and yeah, look at the little polka dotty stem. This variety is much bigger. This is Paphiapetalum maudii, variation vinicolor. So vinicolor, like vin is like wine. So it actually gets like a very wine shaped colored leaf. This one doesn't, its polka dotty stem is a bit different. If I can get it to focus, it really likes the fuzz. Not quite as polka dotted, but still there. The roots on this one, so fuzzy. And the patterning is a little bit different than the other one. It's a bit more spaced out, and it's much lighter in color overall than the other orchid. And this variety is quite a bit of a bigger variety than my little delanti over there. Now, there's a few left that belong in this cabinet. This is philodendron Orange Princess Marble Galaxy. Kind of fades back to this weird orangey, yellowy, greeny color. The new leaves come in absolutely stunning with the orange color. She lives right here. And I really like these pot covers. I can't tell you where to get them because my mom actually brought them back from France. This is my philodendron Whippleway. I got it as a 1-leaf cutting. It actually put out 2 little stems. I honestly couldn't even show it for years because she was in such rough shape. But now, absolutely stunning. Probably my, next to the polypoidiodes, I would say it's my favorite variegated philodendron of all time. And then, yeah, she lives right on top of my dome next to the philodendron orange marble princess marble galaxy or whatever. I can never remember the name of that one. Next in the lineup, and probably my favorite pot, is my variegated micans. I recently cut her and sold the cuttings, and the old leaves are not very big, and she started putting out some massive new leaves. Absolutely love this plant. She lives in the corner like that, and honestly looks so good in this lighting. You can really see how much bigger this leaf is. When I was sold her, I was told that way too much variegation probably will die. So they sold it to me at a discount, and actually, yes, it has a lot of variegation, but didn't die. Holds onto it really nicely, very stable. And the pot is, my mom got it for me, probably one of the cutest pots ever. This is my begonia. I will have to put in the name because I don't know why, but I can't remember. It's a woody begonia. It's kind of almost grows like a bonsai, if you can see in there. This plant was not very big when I got it. It's huge for a little tiny begonia. It does not stop flowering either. I should probably reach out to the person I got this from and see what I should do with it. I'll show you the colors outside of the cabinet as well. In the cutest little handmade, these are like little sakura flowers and petals pot. You can see these beautiful like blush pink flowers here. She literally goes crazy. Absolutely love this weird little begonia. Like I said, I love my weird plants. I remember seeing one of these at the Mud Art Conservatory in Edmonton, and they were all about it and so excited about it. And I have one in my own collection, so that is so cool. Last but definitely not least, for this cabinet at least, is my Anthurium Bigfoot. I got this at the Edmonton Aeroid Show. If you watch that video, you watch me pick it up. Probably my favorite. Oh, well, I guess I said the luxurians is my favorite Anthurium. And then I have another Anthurium that I'll probably tell you is my favorite Anthurium. But look at how dark these leaves are. The silvery glitteriness of this plant is unmatched by any of my other ones. And come on, the name is the Bigfoot, so easily a fave. Everything's a fave. I don't know what to say. I'm going to take a brief intermission between cabinets for me to show you some of my bigger plants. I promised you another fuzzy stem, and this is it. This is my philodendron squamiferum. Little bit of a floppy pole. It actually lives in my window, but I pulled out all my big plants to make it really easy to show them off because I feel like that's something I don't do super well or very often. One of the easiest philodendron ever to grow and one of the coolest for sure. Crazy leaf shape, easy to grow, beautiful fuzzy petioles. It really doesn't get much better than this one, and I absolutely adore having this plant in my collection. I honestly forget that I have this pot a lot, another contender for best plant pot in my collection. Who lives in it other than my Syngonium milk confetti. Love Syngonium. The milk confetti is easily one of my faves. This plant actually is really nice variegation too. I put the milk confetti in the cow pot because I just feel like that makes sense. I don't appreciate this plant enough, ever. I got this plant absolutely tiny. The tiniest little plug you've ever seen. She's pretty big now. Absolutely beautiful. Putting out so much new leaves. She has a couple dead leaves. They get crispy. That's what Syngonium do. Beautiful plant in the weirdest. I actually, for the record, hand painted this pot. We went to Color Me Mine with some of my friends and they did little things and I did this giant pot, and they were so kind to sit there and watch and me paint it and just hang out and talk while I finished it. And I'm so happy they did because this pot rocks and the plant in it is perfect. Literal OG. Won't harp on her too much because a little wild, but this is my philodendron pink princess. I bet you've never seen a philodendron pink princess with so much variegation before. Obviously I'm kidding. In fact, this might be the lowest variegation pink princess that still consistently doesn't revert and puts out pink, so I guess I can't complain that she hasn't reverted completely. Literally the OG, my first ever rare plant. I still have her. She's big and not a lot of pink, but now adore. This is my philodendron Black Majesty. My boyfriend, I sent him to an Ecuagenera event and I had a little bit of money left in my budget and I told him to just pick something out that he liked. This is what he picked up. This plant is not the most beautiful plant. I mean, actually the leaves on it are so stunning. I should really just focus on growing it up a pole or something because they are so truly black, like actually black, which you don't see in plants very much. And yeah, this one needs a little bit, she's crazy. However, love this plant. In my last plant propping, chopping, poling video, you could probably see I cut up my Syngonium chia pens and I said that the stem would grow back. You probably didn't believe me, but look, my stick is no longer a stick. It has leaves, it has new leaves coming in, and I activated 1, 2, 3 growth points. So excited to see what the future holds for this guy. Check out my variegated money tree. Wow, look at all this variegation. Obviously another joke, but you may not believe me, but this is the variegated leaf. So as you can see on this plant, I actually am gonna get another leaf. It hasn't put out a variegated leaf from a stem in so long, so We'll see if it's still variegated. I very much hope so. The way they grow these plants is they have like a regular money tree base, and then they graft the variegated stem to it. But look, this plant decided it didn't want to be variegated, so where it was grafted, it grew out a normal stem, and it mostly just focuses on putting out those leaves. Really big, beautiful plant. Always putting out new leaves, like that little guy there. Still technically variegated. Still has a living variegated stem and one leaf. I will update if that new little leaf there does come out variegated. Last, before I move on to the next cabinet, is my philodendron UPI. Still an awesome plant, still one of my favorites. Just on a terrible moss pole. Big, crazy. Doesn't have any leaves that are like super big or crazy right now, but looks like we're gonna get a really nice big one there. We'll see. This is my IKEA Rydeen. It's my other cabinet. There's not that many plants in here. This is my variegated syngonium chia pence. I've sold all of her babies, but she's still beautiful, still rocking with it. I love her. This is another milk plant, except not in a cow pot, but in a pelican. This is my Aglaonema spilled milk. Absolute huge. I got this as a tiny little weirdo plant, and now it's a big weirdo plant. It actually flowers all the time for me, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to actually harvest some of these berries. They're holding on and actually ripening. And also this stem also flowered. So we're gonna see. The variegation on this plant is like nothing else. They come out, the babies, I have another little baby coming out here, very low variegation. Sometimes they come out completely green. And as they mature, they put out more and more and more variegation. And eventually they become like very white and still hold on to it. So it's kind of like chimeric variegation, I think. Really sick plant. Not many people have it, but now you get to see my monkey tail cactus. And sorry, the door is closing. As I kind of was taking it out, I realized that that part fell off, so I guess I'm gonna have to propagate that. But yeah, it's just a big, long, fuzzy cactus. Mine is pretty skinny. Honestly, it needs way more light than it gets. And yeah, I have to figure out what to actually do with this. This beauty in the corner is my philodendron burl marks, massive plant, variegated. As you can see, it has lots of little variegated stems. Really beautiful. Its friend that lives here. I'm just gonna use the door to hold this one up. This is my Epipremnum marble. This one browns because it puts out so much white. As you can see, pretty much the most stunning leaves of all time, but she gets a lot of crispies. But I want to be real about what it's like growing plants that are this white. Oh my gosh, the door is gonna drive me crazy. Really healthy, happy plant, but yeah. Also living in semi-hydro in pond, like a lot of my plants are, not all of them, but yeah. Wow. This is my strawberry shake. This is her newest leaf. They come in very, very pale, and then they start to harden off and look like this. And then eventually they fully harden off and they go yellow. And then over time, they go this really beautiful, these really crazy pink colors. You gotta wait to get the really beautiful leaves on the strawberry shake. And then behind her, I had to pull her out to show, is actually my staghorn fern. This is Platycerium veitchii Mount Lewis cross. It's a Rydeen. I've lost a lot of leaves on it recently, some of the older growth, but I think that it's just working on maturing. It has that beautiful little shield frond coming in slowly but surely. It's on a little self-watering system that makes this plant a lot easier to grow mounted because they can be a pain to keep happy mounted. Absolutely one of the most beautiful plants. It's supposed to mature. I can show a mature one. Yeah, that's it. It's just a little weirdo stuck on a piece of wood in my cabinet. So that's it for my downstairs plants. Obviously you can see my friends back in the window there and my cats in their tree. Lastly, this is the last downstairs one. This is my Monstera adansonii wide form. I really like this little basket that I have it in. I got this for the new place. These leaves are about the size of my head. This plant was crazy to grow. Oh my gosh, and to travel with. I get asked a lot of questions about it. How do I do it? I don't really know. I just love her. She used to be up to the ceiling in my old place, but in this one I've had to fold it back and wrap it around about 1,000,000 times. The amount of tape holding this plant together is crazy, but she loves it. And so far seems to like this new spot in my new place. It was in a south-facing window before. Now this is more of a north-facing window, so we'll see, but so far, so good. Literally my little greeter. It's pouring rain outside, so I actually won't be showing off my outdoor plants right now, although you can see a little bit there. These are my little baby syngonium chia pence cuttings that I have grown from wet stick. all of them have rooted and are putting out new leaves. That's exciting. I also have my Syngonium chiapense top cutting rooting in there, along with a piece of my spilt milk that fell off during the move. And then this also fell off during the move. This was obviously the same plant that I just showed, my monstera adansonii. So I have this weird little IKEA vase. You can see some roots are starting to go crazy in there. There's a lot of cuttings, maybe like 15 in here or something like that. So these will also be repotted up, and I will maybe keep some, maybe sell some, maybe give some away. Let me know if you want anything out of my little prop area over here. Moving on to the very last part of my video. This is actually my reptile room. I'm not gonna be showing off the reptile room yet, but that video is coming. This is my Anthurium longicolobum. Used to have this in the window. The wingspan of this plant is crazy. It takes up way too much space. Its other friend here is my Polypoidiodes, which has honestly looked maybe a bit better. However, still looking great, still getting those long leaves, and she's fine. She's just maybe a little on the struggle bus since moving. And then in the corner, this is my Dischidia green apple. Yup, just keeps going all the way down to there. Such a beautiful plant, really easy to grow. Dischidia are very, very similar family to Hoya. And then this is my little succulent kind of window. Obviously, this is my oxalis. She's flowering. Flowers constantly. Not a succulent, but to get that really nice red color, I keep it in lots of light. This is my epiphyllum angulaire, like fire or something like that, so it gets extra red compared to the regular one. This one's actually gonna be going in with my 100 subscribers surprise, so stay tuned for that. I'm just really trying to sun stress it so it looks beautiful in there. This next one's in a little snail pot, if I can show it. You see a little snail? This is my monodenium. It's also variegated, as you can see from those little leaves. It's just a weird little pickly plant. I don't know what to say about it. It's so weird. I got this from the Aroid show and I love it. Also from the Aroid show is my variegated Christmas cactus. I literally got it so tiny. This plant does not stop growing and I adore it. It's also in a really cute little pot. Next to it is my rooting cactus. Sorry, or wiener cactus. I don't know what I'm gonna have to call it in this video. This is my euphorbia. I got it as a gift from the University of Alberta greenhouse for being the president of the botany club. It's a pretty rare euphorbia. I don't actually know what it is, but I'm going to try to figure it out eventually. I'm back. I'm so sweaty. Those are all of my houseplants. Oh, that took way more work than I thought. I actually went through and watered a lot of them and did some maintenance at the same time. That was a big one. Those are literally all of my plants. I do have some that I'm hiding for you, but they're going to go into a big build that I'm gonna be making, so I kind of want to keep them a surprise for now. Oh my gosh, I'm exhausted. Are you exhausted? I have so many plants. If you notice, I don't have a lot of duplicates or really any other than propagations. That's my rule to myself and how I kind of keep my collection fun for me. And if I want more, then I have to make more. Even with my pink princess, who is so beautiful, but maybe not very much variegation, I can't buy another pink princess because that's my rule with myself and that's how I keep myself in check. If there are any plants that you really, really liked, you want to know more about, want to know about their care, comment on this video, DM me, reach out to me, follow me on Instagram. I post so much about all of these there, and I'm always posting updates about pretty much every single plant I have. I would love it if you liked and commented, followed on this video, and yeah, I'd really like to know what you thought, which plants you thought were the best. If you kept track and actually counted all of the plants I showed, please tell me, because I never count and I don't know how many I have. So if you did keep track, I'd honestly appreciate the number because I don't think I'm gonna count. Yeah, I honestly am really proud of my plant collection. It has taken me years to get to this point. Some of these plants I've had since the very, very beginning, and they mean so much to me. A lot of these plants have been growing for years. Things like the polypoidiodes that have so little information on them and are so uncommonly owned in the hobby. It's really amazing to be able to successfully propagate them and understand how they're propagated. Now I know that I can do it kind of in regular cabinet humidity and more successfully at high humidity, but they are a bit interesting to grow. Just gaining that information makes all these plants more accessible. I have a lot of props, so if you're interested in any of the plants you saw in this video, shoot me a DM or comment on this video. A lot of the time I'll just give them away. Some of them I will sell. If you are in Canada, anywhere in Canada, I could actually ship one to you. So let me know about that. If you're in the States, I can't really give one to you, or any other country. But yeah, if you're in Canada, I can ship you some of these plants, or if you're local or close to me, I can get one of those plants to you. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for staying to the end. Your reward for staying to the end is that you found out that if you reach out to me, I can give you a free plant. And yeah, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!